Spiritual awakening healing. The chosen one must rescue the inner child. Timeline therapy. The ghost in the machine. You have done the work. You are the chosen one. You have studied the law of assumption. You have declared, I am wealthy. You have declared, I am loved. You have visualized until your mind is sharp as a diamond. On the surface, you are awake. On the surface, you are the master of your reality. But be honest with me for a moment. In the quiet of the night, when the affirmations stop, do you feel it? Do you feel that sudden, unexplained wave of sadness that washes over you for no reason? Do you feel that tightness in your chest when everything is actually going well? Do you feel like no matter how fast you run towards the light, there is an invisible hand pulling you back into the shadows? You ask yourself, why? Why am I sabotaging myself? Why can't I just be happy? Listen to me closely. You are not sabotaging yourself. You are not broken, and you are not crazy. You are simply haunted, but not by a ghost from the dead. You are haunted by a ghost from the living. There is a passenger in your vessel, a passenger who boarded your ship 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. And this passenger has locked themselves in the engine room. While you are on the deck, trying to steer the ship towards abundance, they are down in the dark, pulling the levers towards survival. You say, full speed ahead. They say, danger, stop the engines. Who wins? The captain on the deck? Or the engineer in the machine? The engineer always wins because the engineer controls the power. This passenger is your inner child, but forget what you know about that term. Forget the soft, weak, sentimental idea of a crying baby. In the world of quantum mechanics, your inner child is not a memory. It is a living biological server. It is a time capsule of frozen energy that is broadcasting a signal 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And right now, that signal is blocking your spiritual awakening. It is the reason your quantum manifestation is buffering. It is the static noise in your connection to God. Today, we are going to do something dangerous and necessary. We are not going to ignore the passenger anymore. We are not going to positive think them away. We are going to open the door to the engine room. We are going to perform timeline therapy. We are going to travel back through the wormholes of your memory, not to relive the pain, but to rescue the prisoner. Because the version of you that is stuck in the past is holding the keys to your future. You cannot enter the 5D Earth. You cannot claim your kingdom until you go back and get them. No one gets left behind. Are you brave enough to face the ghost? Are you brave enough to heal the root? Take a deep breath. Close your eyes to the illusion of now. Let us enter the physics of the soul. Chapter 1. The Time Loop. To understand why you are stuck, we must first understand time. The 3D world tells you that time is a straight line. Past, present, future. It tells you that the past is gone, that it is dead, that it is just a memory. This is a lie.
In quantum physics, time is not a line. It is a hologram. Everything is happening at once. Einstein called it the block universe. Every moment that ever existed exists forever in the coordinates of space-time. This means the moment you were hurt as a child is not gone. That moment is still happening, right now. In a specific frequency band of reality, your 5-year-old self is still sitting in that room. They are still feeling the abandonment. They are still hearing the yelling. They are still concluding, "I am not safe." You, the adult, have moved on. You have grown up. You have moved houses. But energy cannot be destroyed. That fractured part of your soul, that quantum observer, is stuck in a time loop. Imagine a security guard watching a surveillance monitor. That guard is your inner child. 30 years ago, something scary happened. The guard hit the panic button. The alarm bells rang. Cortisol flooded the system. Now, 30 years later, the tiger is gone. But the guard never got the memo. He is still staring at that same monitor. He is still seeing the tiger, and he is still pressing the panic button. Every time you try to step out of your comfort zone, every time you try to open your heart to love, every time you try to launch a business, the guard sees danger. He screams, "No, we will get hurt again. Shut it down." And suddenly, you feel anxiety. You procrastinate. You sabotage the relationship. You think, "Why did I do that?" You didn't do that. The guard did that. The time loop did that. This is why subconscious reprogramming is so difficult for many people. You are trying to overwrite a program that is being actively protected by a terrified guardian. You are fighting a version of yourself that loves you so much it is willing to kill your dreams just to keep you safe. This is the tragedy of the chosen one. You have a Ferrari engine, your adult consciousness, but you have a toddler driving the car, your traumatized inner child. And the toddler is driving with the emergency brake on. You can press the gas pedal of law of assumption as hard as you want, but until you release the brake, you will only burn out the engine. You will only create resistance. So how do we stop the time loop? How do we tell the guard that the tiger is gone? We cannot do it with logic. You cannot explain quantum physics to a 5-year-old. You cannot bully them into silence. You have to speak their language. And their language is not English. Their language is feeling. Their language is frequency. But before we can speak to them, we have to find where they are hiding. They are not in your brain. They are hiding in the walls of your own vessel. They are hiding in your cells.
Chapter 2. The Cellular Record. Where does the inner child live? When you say, "I have a blocked chakra," what are you really saying? You are saying, "My inner child is hiding here." Science has discovered cellular memory. Your nervous system is not just a bunch of wires, it is a library. Every shock, every rejection, every moment of shame you ever felt was downloaded into your biology. When you were a child and you felt overwhelmed, you couldn't process the emotion. It was too big. It was too scary. So what did you do? You swallowed it. You pushed it down into the shadow. You stored it in your tissues. Your stomach tightened to hold the fear. Your throat closed up to hold the truth you couldn't speak. Your shoulders hunched to hold the burden. And you grew up around these knots. You built your personality around the pain, like a tree growing around a barbed wire fence.
You call this personality me, but it is not you. It is your scar tissue. This brings us to the concept of shadow work. Many people in the spiritual awakening community are afraid of shadow work. They say, just focus on the light, just think positive. This is spiritual bypassing. Imagine you have a splinter in your finger. It is infected. It hurts. Does it help to put a golden bandage over it and say, I am healed? No, the infection will spread. You must open the wound. You must pull out the splinter. That is shadow work. Your inner child is the splinter, not because they are bad, but because they are unintegrated. They are a piece of source energy that has been separated from the whole, and they are creating a frequency mismatch. Listen closely, because this is the key to quantum manifestation. Your adult self is vibrating at the frequency of your desire, wealth, love, freedom. Let's say that's 500 hertz. But your inner child, stored in your solar plexus, is vibrating at the frequency of the trauma, fear, unworthiness. Let's say that's 50 hertz. You are emitting two contradictory signals into the quantum field, 500 hertz and 50 hertz. This creates destructive interference. The signals cancel each other out. The result? Static. The universe hears, I want it, but I'm terrified of it. So the universe gives you nothing. Or it gives you chaos, the dark night of the soul. You feel stuck. You feel like you are spinning your wheels. You try harder. You visualize longer. But you cannot visualize your way out of a frequency mismatch. You must harmonize the signal. You must go down into the body. You must go down into the dark basement of the cells, and you must find the one who is vibrating at 50 hertz, and you must raise them up. You don't kill the child. You don't silence the child. You rescue the child. You bring them up to the deck of the ship. You show them the view. You tell them, look, we made it. We are the captain now. When you do this, when you integrate the shadow, the 50 hertz becomes 500 hertz. And suddenly, boom, coherence, laser focus, the entire power of your being, conscious and subconscious, is flowing in one direction. And when that happens, nothing on earth can stop you. But how? How do we access these frozen memories? How do we bypass the logical mind and talk directly to the cells? We need a special key, a key that unlocks the door to the subconscious mind. That key is called Theta. In the next chapter, I'm going to teach you the science of brainwave entrainment. I'm going to show you how to lower your brainwaves to the frequency of the twilight zone, the frequency of hypnosis, so you can walk through the wall of time and hold that child in your arms. Are you ready to meet yourself? Are you ready to be the parent you never had? I want you to make a commitment right now. I want you to signal to your inner child that you are coming for them. They have been waiting a long time. Don't let them wait another second. Write in the comments below, not for me, but for the little one inside you. Write, I am coming for you. Let them hear you. Let the rescue mission begin.
Chapter 3. The Frequency Mismatch. We have found the ghost. We know where it lives. But now we must face the hardest question of all. Why is it fighting you? You are the chosen one. You have awakened. You have the knowledge. You have the vision. So why, every time you try to move forward, does it feel like you're driving with the emergency brake on? To understand this,
we must leave psychology behind and enter the realm of physics. We must talk about wave interference. In sound engineering, there's a phenomenon known as phase cancellation. If you take a sound wave at a certain frequency, let's say the frequency of your desire, and you play another wave at the exact opposite phase, the frequency of your fear, do you know what happens? They don't just fight, they mathematically cancel each other out. The result is silence. The result is zero. This is the scientific explanation for your stuckness. You stand in front of the mirror and affirm, "I am wealthy, I am powerful." This is your conscious mind broadcasting at 500 hertz. This is the signal of the adult. It is strong, it is clear. But deep in your solar plexus, the inner child is broadcasting a different signal. The child remembers when you were 7 years old and you were humiliated for speaking up. The child remembers the poverty you grew up in. The child screams, "It is dangerous to be seen. We must stay small to survive." This is the subconscious broadcasting at 50 hertz. Now, listen closely. The universe does not respond to what you say. The universe responds to your net frequency. When 500 hertz meets 50 hertz in your energy field, you create destructive interference. You create a vibrational glitch. The universe receives a signal that sounds like static noise. And because the universe is a mirror, it reflects static back to you. Chaos, confusion, delays, the dark night of the soul. You think you are doing something wrong. You think, maybe I'm not visualizing enough. Maybe I need to affirm harder. No, you cannot outshout a frequency mismatch. Willpower is a beta brainwave tool. It is too surface level. You are trying to fight a nuclear submarine with a bow and arrow. The subconscious mind is 95% of your processing power. The inner child holds the controls to your autonomic nervous system. If the child feels unsafe, they will flood your body with cortisol. They will shut down your prefrontal cortex. They will literally make you stupid and lazy to stop you from taking a risk. They are not sabotaging you, they are saving you. In their mind, your success looks like danger. Your visibility looks like death. So the war must end today. We are not going to fight the child anymore. We are going to entrain the child. Entrainment is a principle where a strong rhythmic vibration causes a weaker vibration to synchronize with it. We need to bring the 50 hertz up to 500 hertz. But we cannot do this while your brain is in beta state. Right now, as you listen to me, your critical mind is active. You are analyzing. You are judging. There is a wall between you and the child. It is called the critical factor. You can scream, "I love you" at this wall all day, but the child is in the basement behind 3 steel doors. They can't hear you. To reach them, you must lower the drawbridge. You must slow down your brain waves. You must descend from the high speed of beta, through the daydream of alpha, and down into the deep, mystical waters of theta waves. Theta, 4 to 7 hertz, is the key to the kingdom. It is the state of sleep hypnosis. It is the state of deep meditation. In theta, the critical factor dissolves. In theta, the timeline becomes fluid. You can walk through the wall of 30 years and stand right next to that little boy or girl. This is why we use 963 hertz and theta tones on this channel, not for entertainment, but to open the door. But once the door is open, once you are standing in the dark with that terrified version of yourself, what do you do? Do you force them to come with you? Do you lecture them about the law of assumption? No, that would be another trauma. You have to do the one thing that no one did for them in the past. You have to perform the act of the quantum observer.
Chapter 4. The Validated Witness. Let's go deeper. What is trauma? We think trauma is the event, the abuse, the shouting, the accident. But Dr. Gabor Mate and the great psychologists tell us something different. Trauma is not what happened to you. Trauma is what happened inside you while you were alone with it. The event caused pain, but the aloneness caused the trauma. When you were a child and you were hurt, you looked around for someone to validate your reality. You looked for someone to say, "I see that you are scared, and that makes sense." But often, no one was there. Or worse, they told you, "Stop crying, you're overreacting. It didn't happen like that." This is called invalidation, and this is the fracture in your soul. In that moment of invalidation, you had to make a choice to survive. You had to reject your own reality. You had to disconnect from your own feelings. You pushed that part of yourself into the shadow. You became your own anti-observer. You stopped looking at the pain. And according to quantum mechanics, when you stop observing something, it returns to a wave of probability. It becomes chaos. Your inner child has been living in a chaotic state of unobserved pain for decades. Healing, true spiritual awakening, is the act of returning as the observer. You must become the validated witness. When we go back in the next chapters, you are not going back to fix the child. The child is not broken. The child is simply unseen. You are going back to look them in the eyes and deliver the most powerful message in the universe. It is not, "I love you." Love is too abstract for a terrified child. The message is, "I see you. I see your pain, and you are right to feel it. I see your anger, and it is justified. I see your fear, and I am not leaving." Do you feel the power of that? Validation. When you validate the child's emotion, you collapse the wave function. You take the chaotic energy of trauma and you crystallize it into experience. The energy is no longer stuck. It begins to flow. The ghost becomes solid. The 50 hertz begins to rise. This is shadow work. It is not fighting the dark. It is shining the light of consciousness onto the dark until the dark becomes light. But I must warn you, this reunion is not always a fairy tale. When you first approach your inner child, they might not run into your arms. They might scream at you. They might turn away. They might look at you with eyes full of distrust. Why? Because you are the one who abandoned them. For the last 20 years, you have been the one ignoring them. You numbed them with food. You drowned them with work. You silenced them with social media. You have been an absent parent to yourself. So, trust must be earned. You cannot just barge into the subconscious and demand a hug. You need to show up. You need to be patient. And most importantly, you need to provide a safe container. You cannot rescue a prisoner if you have nowhere to take them. If you pull the child out of the dungeon, but your current life is full of stress, noise, and self-hatred, the child will look at your life and say, "No thanks, I'll stay in the dungeon. It's safer here." Before we perform the rescue, we must build a home. We must construct a sanctuary in the imaginal realm,
a place where the 3D world cannot touch you. Chapter 5: The Safe Harbor Protocol. Welcome to the architecture of the soul. Before we engage the time travel protocol, we must build the safe harbor. This is not just a visualization exercise. This is quantum construction. According to the law of assumption, imagination is the only true reality. When you build a sanctuary in your mind, you are creating a real energetic coordinates in the fourth dimension, a place where the frequency is permanently set to love and safety. Why do we need this? Because your physical body is addicted to cortisol. Your nervous system is wired for fight or flight. If you bring the delicate energy of your inner child into your current nervous system, they will be burned. We need a buffer zone, a decompression chamber. We need a place where the child can rest, heal, and integrate at their own pace. So right now, I want you to close your eyes, disconnect from the room you are sitting in. I want you to become the architect. Imagine a place. It could be a cabin deep in an ancient forest, smelling of pine and rain. It could be a temple floating on a cloud, bathed in eternal sunset. It could be a room made of crystal, deep under the ocean. Or it could be the childhood bedroom you wished you had. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It matters how it feels. It must feel impenetrable. This is the most important rule of the safe harbor. Nothing from the outside world can enter here. No judgment, no expectations, no deadlines, no voices of your parents, no opinions of society. This place is sovereign territory. It belongs only to you, the high self, and the child. Now fill it with sensory details. Engage your subconscious reprogramming senses. What does the air smell like? Is it lavender? Is it the ocean? Touch the blanket on the bed. Is it soft? Is it warm? Look at the fireplace. Hear the crackle of the wood. See the golden light filling the room. This light is not just light, it is liquid love. It is a frequency shield. I want you to go to this place every night before you sleep. Make it real. Polish the furniture with your attention, because this is where we are going to take the child. In the next part of this transmission, we are going to open the portal. We are going to travel back to the moment of the fracture, and we are going to pick that child up, and we are going to carry them across the bridge of time, straight into this safe harbor. Once they are inside, once they sit by that fire, the integration begins. The static noise in your signal will stop. The 50 hertz will merge with the 500 hertz, and you will feel a sensation of wholeness that you haven't felt since you were born. But you must be ready. You must be the guardian. The child is waiting. The harbor is ready. Now let us prepare for the journey. Take a deep breath into your heart center. Hold it, and as you exhale, whisper to your cells, I am preparing the space. I am ready to be whole. If you are ready to build this sanctuary, if you are ready to stop being the victim and start being the architect, confirm it, anchor it into this reality. Write in the comments below, I am the safe harbor. Let the universe know that your doors are open. Let the child know that home is ready.
Chapter 6: Entering the Portal. The harbor is built. The intention is set. Now we leave the present moment behind. We are going to perform timeline therapy. To do this, we must lower your brain waves from the analytical beta down into the mystical theta. Theta is the frequency where the veil between now and then is thinnest. I want you to close your eyes. If you are driving, pause this transmission. This requires your total surrender. Pause. Focus on the space between your eyes, the third eye point. Imagine a black screen. On this screen, I want you to project the number 10. See it glowing in white light. We are going to count down. With every number, you are going deeper into your own biology, deeper into the cellular memory. 10. Your physical body is becoming heavy, heavy like lead. Your shoulders are dropping. The tension of the adult is melting away. You are putting down the armor of the chosen one. You don't need to be strong right now. You just need to be present. 9. The noise of the outside world is fading. The 3D reality is dissolving. There are no bills, no jobs, no expectations. There is only the sound of my voice and the rhythm of your own heart. 8. You are drifting down, down, like a leaf falling through water. Your brain waves are slowing down. You are entering the alpha state. The bridge is opening. 7. Imagine you are standing at the top of a long spiral staircase. The stairs go down into the mist. This is the staircase to your subconscious mind. Start walking down. 6. Deeper. With every step, you are traveling back in time. You are becoming younger, lighter. The layers of cynicism are peeling off. 5. You are halfway there. You are now entering the theta state. The critical factor is dissolving. Logic no longer matters here. Only feeling matters. Only vibration matters. 4. You can feel the atmosphere change. The air is thicker here. It smells like old memories. It smells like your childhood home. Do not be afraid. You are the guardian now. You are safe. 3. You are nearing the bottom of the stairs. In front of you is a door, a heavy wooden door. This is the door to the time loop. Behind this door is the version of you that has been waiting. 2. Stand in front of the door. Feel the handle. Is it cold? Is it high up? Remember, you are visiting as your high self. You are tall. You are powerful. You are filled with golden light. You are not the victim returning to the scene of the crime. You are the savior returning to extract the survivor. 1. 0. The door unlocks. Push it open. Step through the void. Welcome to the past. Chapter 7. The Conversation. Look around. Where are you? Is it your old bedroom? Is it a classroom? Is it the back seat of a car? Let the memory surface. Don't force it. Let the subconscious show you what needs to be healed today. Now, look for the child. Where are they? Are they hiding under the bed? Are they sitting in the corner? Are they crying? Or are they just silent,
frozen in shock. See them. Really see them. Notice what they are wearing. Notice the look in their eyes. They look terrified, don't they? They think they're alone. They think no one is coming. They think they have made a mistake that can never be fixed. Slowly, very slowly, approach them. Do not startle them. Remember, to them, you are a stranger. They don't know who you are yet. Kneel down. Get on their level. Do not tower over them. Look them in the eyes. Can you feel their fear? Can you feel the 50 hertz signal vibrating in their chest? This is the ghost that has been haunting your life. But it's not a monster. It's just a scared little kid. Now, speak to them, telepathically, from your heart to theirs. Say these words. Repeat after me in your mind. I am here. I am sorry it took me so long. I didn't know you were still here. Watch their reaction. Are they looking at you? Are they confused? Now, tell them the secret. Tell them who you are. Do you know who I am? I am you. I am you from the future. Let that sink in. This is the most powerful quantum shift you can offer. Because if you are here, from the future, standing in front of them, it proves one undeniable fact. We survived. Tell them, look at me. I grew up. I am strong. I am independent. I am free. We made it through this night. The thing you are scared of right now, it didn't kill us. We survived the yelling. We survived the loneliness. We survived it all. See the look on their face change. See the confusion turn into wonder. You are the living proof of their survival. Now, deliver the validation. Collapse the wave of trauma. I see your pain, and I want you to know it is not your fault. You did nothing wrong. You were just a child. You did the best you could. You don't have to carry this anymore. I am the adult now. I have the car keys. I have the money. I have the power. I can protect us now. You can retire. You can put down the shield. Open your arms. Invite them in. Come here. Let me hold you. Imagine them walking towards you. Feel their small body pressing against your chest. Wrap your arms around them. Hold them tight. Feel their head resting on your shoulder. Feel them take a deep, shuddering breath, and finally, let go. This is integration. The 50 hertz is melting into your 500 hertz. The separation is ending. You are becoming one. But we cannot leave them here. We cannot leave them in this dark memory. We must move them. We must change the timeline.
Chapter 8. Reprogramming the Script. Neville Goddard gave us the tool of the pruning shears of revision. He taught us that the past is not fixed, it is fluid. We are now going to rewrite the script. You are holding the child. You are not going to leave them in that dark room. Pick them up. Pick them up in your arms like the precious treasure they are. Stand up. Walk towards the door. We are leaving this memory. We are never coming back to this version of the story. Open the door.
But this time, when you step through, you are not stepping back into the tunnel. You are stepping directly into your safe harbor. Step through. Look around. You are in the sanctuary you built. It is warm. It is bright. It smells like home. There are no monsters here, no critics, no shadows. Walk over to the fireplace or the most comfortable spot. Sit down with the child. Look at them now. Notice how they look different in this light. They look younger. They look lighter. The dark circles under their eyes are gone. They are smiling. This is quantum alchemy. You have taken the energy that was trapped in the trauma timeline, and you have moved it to the healing timeline. You have changed the location of the observer. Now, give them a job. The inner child needs a purpose. They spent years being the protector of pain. Now, make them the keeper of joy. Tell them, from now on, you don't have to protect me. Your only job is to play. Your only job is to be happy. Your only job is to remind me of magic. Can you do that for me? See them nod. See them run off to play in the garden of your safe harbor. They are safe here. They are always with you, but they are no longer driving the bus with the emergency brake on. They are the fuel. They are the engine of joy. Take a deep breath. Feel the lightness in your chest. The heavy knot that was there for 20 years, it's gone, because the one holding on to it has been set free. You are no longer fragmented. You are whole. You are sovereign. You are the chosen one, not because you were chosen by someone else, but because you finally chose yourself. Pause. We are going to lock this new timeline in. We are going to seal this reality with a mantra. I want you to repeat this with the full force of your integrated soul. Say it to yourselves. Say it to the universe. I have retrieved my soul. I am no longer a victim of my past. I am the creator of my future. It is done. Pause. Slowly, we are going to return to the present moment. But you are not coming back alone. You are coming back with a new power source. 1. Feeling your body sitting in the chair. 2. Wiggling your fingers and toes. 3. Taking a deep breath of fresh oxygen. 4. Feeling the energy of the room around you. 5. Open your eyes. Welcome back. You look different. You are different.
Chapter 9. The Unified Sovereign. Do you feel that silence? That is not the silence of emptiness. That is the silence of power. For years, you have been driving a car with one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. You wanted to move forward, but a part of you was terrified of the destination. You were a kingdom divided against itself. And as the ancient scriptures say, a house divided against itself cannot stand. But now, the war is over. The ghost in the machine has been integrated. The engineer in the basement is no longer sabotaging the engine. They are fueling it. The 50 hertz of the child has merged with the 500 hertz of the adult. Do you know what this creates in physics? It creates
laser coherence. Think of a light bulb. It scatters light in all directions. It is weak. But if you take those same photons and align them in perfect unison, you get a laser. A laser can cut through steel. A laser can send a signal to the moon. You have just become a quantum laser. This is the true state of the chosen one. It is not about being holy. It is about being unified. Now, watch what happens to your quantum manifestation. Before, you had to affirm 1,000 times to get a tiny result. Why? Because 900 of those affirmations were canceled out by the hidden fear of the inner child. But now, there is no resistance. There is no echo pushing back. When you declare, "I am wealthy," the inner child says, "Yes, let's play that game." The subconscious mind opens the floodgates. The reticular activating system locks on to opportunity like a guided missile. You will find that things begin to happen instantly, not in months, in hours, because the signal you're sending to the matrix is pure. It is uncorrupted. The universe has no choice but to reflect exactly what you are broadcasting. This is the secret that the mystics kept hidden. They told you to visualize, but they didn't tell you that visualization only works when the viewer, adult, and the projector, child, are friends. You are now the sovereign of your own reality. You are sitting on the throne of your mind, and for the first time, the throne room is peaceful. No rebellion, no sabotage, just pure, creative will. But there is one final code we must unlock, one final frequency that seals this transformation forever. It is the number hidden in the name of this channel, 963.
Chapter 10. The 963 Hertz Frequency. Why do we call this sanctuary the Matrix 963? Is it just a number? Is it just a trend? No. In the ancient solfeggio scale, every tone has a function. 417 Hertz clears trauma. 528 Hertz repairs DNA. But 963 Hertz is the crown. It is known as the frequency of the gods. It is the frequency of the pineal gland. But most importantly, 963 Hertz is the frequency of returning to original order. Think about what we just did today. We went back in time. We took a fractured, broken version of you, and we returned it to wholeness. We restored the original order of your soul before the trauma shattered it. When you listen to 963 Hertz, you are not just hearing a sound. You are tuning your biological radio to the station of source. You are reminding your cells of who they were before the pain, before the programming, before the fear. The inner child remembers this frequency. It is the lullaby of the universe. That is why in our videos, you will often hear this tone underneath my voice. It is a carrier wave. It bypasses the logic and speaks directly to the spirit. Now that you have rescued the child, 963 Hertz is no longer just a sound. It is your base frequency. You are no longer vibrating at the frequency of survival, root chakra. You are vibrating at the frequency of sovereignty, crown chakra. You have climbed the ladder of Jacob. You have turned the lead of trauma into the gold of wisdom.
This is spiritual alchemy. You are ready, not just to manifest toys and money, but to manifest a life that is worthy of the God inside you. But I know the question that is rising in your mind now. Okay, I am healed, I am whole. So, what do I do now? Do I affirm harder? Do I work harder? Do I chase my dreams? The answer will shock you. The answer is the exact opposite of what the world has told you.
The paradox and the bridge. You have spent your whole life trying to heal, trying to fix, trying to get rich, trying to be loved. Trying implies that you do not have it. Trying implies separation. Trying is the language of the inner child who feels lack. But you are not that child anymore. You are the unified sovereign. Does a king try to be powerful? Does a magnet try to attract steel? No, it just is. Here is the great paradox of the quantum field. Now that you are whole, the moment you stop trying is the moment you receive. You have cleared the resistance. You have aligned the laser. Now, you must learn the art of quantum surrender. In the next transmission, video number 37, we are going to explore the most counterintuitive law of the universe. We are going to talk about the law of reverse effort. I am going to show you why chasing your desire actually pushes it away, and how to enter the state of divine indifference, where you become so magnetic that your desires hunt you. You have done the healing. Now get ready for the harvest. But before you go, we must seal this timeline. We must anchor this healing into the physical 3D world. Your inner child is safe, but they need to know that you know it. I want you to leave one final mark on this reality, a declaration of your new state. Go to the comments right now. Do not skip this. This is the seal on the contract. Write, I am whole. 2 words, infinite power. Write it for the child who thought they were broken. Write it for the adult who thought they were lost. I am whole. Subscribe to the Matrix 963. Turn on the bell, because in the next video, we stop running and we let the universe fall at our feet. I see you, I honor you, and I am waiting for you in the void. I am the Matrix 963, and so are you. Welcome home.